Momi invited me to talk about the practical aspect of students' life in China. Hello everyone and welcome back. Myself Mahmood I'm from Pakistan and I'm a Ph.D. student at Northwest Agriculture and Forestry University. Maybe you guys have already watched me in Momi's previous video that was about dormitory facilities in China and dormitory facilities particularly in our university. But today Momi invited me to talk about the practical aspect of students' life in China. Because Joy and Momi have already recorded a lot of stuff regarding the CSC application procedure, the acceptance letter, pre-admission letters, and the required documents for the scholarship. But today we wanted to have a practical discussion and the student's life, and we're going to clear all your ambiguities and doubts regarding the student's life in China. So let's get started. The first thing we must know that when you are in China, not for post doctorate, but for masters as well, you are all in all. All in all in which sense? That you have to design your research, you have to plan your research. Because sometime when I came in 2019, and if I felt that, so many students with the same background and coming from the same country, and if I talk about particularly the South Asian countries, we think, okay, the supervisor will give us a spoon feeding, or you have to go in this direction or that direction. This is not the case, buddy. In China, I don't have the exposure of other countries, so I'll for sure talk about China. The supervisors give you a full-fledged field that, okay, this is our direction, but what you have to do in that specific direction, it's up to you. You are responsible for your own actions, your own study plans, your own research, because we have in the journey of PhD, we have first of all the proposal defense. At that time, you have to present what are you gonna doing on the back side of the stage. So after the proposal defense, okay, they will, for example, they'll allow you, okay, this direction is fine, go on your journey. After that, you'll continue your experiment, and there will be a second checkpoint, which is the midterm evaluation. They will call you in front of committee members again and ask you, buddy, what you have achieved till now, how's your experiment, how's your results? And after that midterm evaluation, they will check you, either you are going in a right direction or in a wrong direction. Let's suppose if you are right, okay, go ahead. And after that, the third checkpoint in the journey of a PhD is pre-defense. Like before your thesis is gonna send out for blind review, your college and your university members will check out your thesis and you have to give a pre-defense that what you have done in your whole journey. And let's suppose if you will be able to satisfy your committee members and the jury, so then your thesis will send for the blind review. And then what does it mean? Blind review means your name, your supervisor name, and your institution name will be removed entirely from your document, and it will be sent within China, within the premises of China, to any organization, to any supervisor, to any professor. They will read out at least it will be 3 professors from different universities, and if you'll get passed from that, you'll get back. And then if you're successful in blind review, so you will give a final defense, and after that you will be able to get your degree. Okay, so now let's come to the lab experience and how's the student experience of international student experience in the lab. So luckily, being in a very well-known and the top-ranked agriculture university of China, and not only in China, as well as in the whole world, our university, our colleges, our departments are very well equipped with the modern technology and all the equipments. But as I mentioned, in my master's level, we don't have such a high level of expertise and such kind of technical machine learning. So when we came to China, so our lab mates, the native Chinese students, they helped us, for sure, they helped us. But as I mentioned before, that here in China, the concept of spoon feeding is not applicable. So they will teach you for sure at once, and after that you have to do by yourself. In the whole procedure of studying journey, which I felt the language barrier. For sure, China is not an English speaking country. Like if we talk about some other European countries, not like English is not their first language. So similarly, if we go to non-native, non-English speaking countries, we have to learn additional language as a second language. Similarly, if you're coming to China, so the language barrier in terms of English and communication you will face. So I felt that to some extent it was. So with such kind of atmosphere and environment, sometimes it's quite hard to get deeper into your subject. So there is another thing to get updated with the students' work efficiency. Every week meetings are held. A supervisor call a meeting with all of his or her students every week. So in those meetings, all the Chinese students and all the international students, they present their work or their weekly excellence or their weekly task which they have accomplished. Being international, for sure, they will give their presentation in English language, but most of the times I mentioned this thing that you also learn from other students, from your other lab mates. But when they are giving their presentations, their communication stuff is in Chinese. So at that time, that aspect is, you can say, is nullified at this point, because being international and being not very fluent with the basic terminologies of science in Chinese language, we cannot learn a lot from that discussion or from that meetings. You will fulfill your responsibility to give a presentation, but learning from others is not very, you can say, efficient in that manner. And when it comes to the career opportunities, if I talk about the career opportunities, so for sure, if first of all I will talk about academia. So after doing the Ph.D, the postdoctorate is getting such a you can say massive attention of international students, because after PhD most of them are doing the postdoctorate and they are giving an excellent and quite handsome amount of salary. I would say salary, not scholarship, because postdoctorate is more or less a job, not it's not a student degree anymore. So it is such a broad spectrum country, broad spectrum environment and atmosphere which is quite open to the world. Being students, we get a lot of opportunities to attend international conferences, international seminars, where the speakers are invited from the topmost universities of the world. So in this way, the massive opportunities of learning and excellence. The best aspect which I have observed, and particularly when I came in China in 2019, that is a social aspect, the cultural exchange, and meeting the people from 30 different countries, because in my university, Northwest Agriculture and Forestry University, more or less we have 27 to 30 nationalities. So what I believe that bookish knowledge, okay, to some extent it's quite important, but to learn, to interact, to observe people, it's a great institution itself, the communication, interaction with people. So when you are interacting with the students from different backgrounds, different cultures and different nationalities, the first thing is that you are learning in a passive way, because the direct learning, you are getting knowledge from your books, going to your labs, continuing with your experiments. But the passive learning while communicating with people around the world. And so long story short, if China is somewhere in your future plans, or China is your destination, so buddies, you are on the right track. Pursue your dreams with motivation, with determination, and with positive energy and potential, and come to China and explore great opportunities, great institutions, and have high degrees in your specific field. Thank you so much.